Hey everyone, so we are making progress on we're calling it the digital frame, jersey framing project that we have. This is part two. If you haven't seen part one, highly recommend that you do. This is kind of a longer, process. There's a lot of stuff that's involved. So we're kind of breaking it up in various parts, and this is part two. But anyway, so in part one, I kind of talked about the story, talked about all the moving pieces that we had, and we're making progress, right? So this is kind of what the customer sent us for the placement of the photos and the patches and so forth. And let me show you where we are now. I'm going to go ahead and move over on this side. So if you've seen our work, you've seen that we take so much pride in when we add the patches and making sure that we have the right outline, kind of the right tracing of the silhouette and so forth. And so I spent a lot of time doing that yesterday and the day before. And these are the 4 patches that are going to go into each of the 2 frames that we have. So as you can see, I spend a lot of time scanning the patches, working in Adobe Illustrator, in Photoshop, vectorizing the images and so forth. And I think they're beginning to look really, really good. So this is one set of patches that are going to go into one frame, and then I have another one that's going to go into the other frame and so forth. And so, once I have that, then I begin to make some preliminary draft mock-ups, if you will, for the project, and that's what I did. And let me go ahead and climb up this 2-step ladder just to kind of show you, what we have so far. So this is kind of a scrap mat that I use, and we use a lot of these, but things are coming along. We have already stretched the jerseys. There's the top one there, and there's the bottom one. And again, these are not the right mats by any chance. We're still working on the design of the colors and so forth, but you can see that the jerseys look a lot better than they did. So we iron them out, remove the wrinkles, stretch them just right. And up there at the top, if you notice, that's when I begin to put the patches there. There's a couple patches up there. The top jersey has 2 patches. And then I began to sort of space out the photos. And again, they're not mounted or anything. We haven't gotten to that point yet. But this is when I sort of began to take photos. I take them to my computer and I, sort of make modifications visually using Photoshop and Illustrator. And then I began to say, all right, I need to, widen the format of the mat and so forth. The one change that I made that the customer sent, and I hope he's okay with this, but I put this, he had it on the right-hand side. I put it on the left because of the way that Marlon is pointing. I don't think he'll mind, but that's one of the changes that I made. And then I put the other one down at the bottom. And then again, I sort of go up with the other side of the photos there, and then the patch up there at the top. The thing that I didn't like initially, and this is something we do, right? We go through 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 iterations of the design because we just don't feel that it looks right. We want to get it right. We're so thankful that customers choose us, that we think they deserve the very best when it comes to design. So I wasn't too happy about, sort of the look of the matting. And this is when, we take the scissors and we kind of cut up the mats, and that's what I did here. And I began to sort of, push it outside or inside, depending on what it is I'm trying to do. And then I go back up and I take a look at photos and I go, this is it. So definitely I wanted to let the jerseys breathe a little bit more. So push them outside, away from the matting, because I want the jerseys to shine, right? I mean, those are the main pieces, if you will. And so that's kind of what we have. I'm going to go up here and just kind of show you a look down there like so. And again, things are beginning to look a little better. The other thing that I did is the photos are, they're quite small, so I don't want to create an opening. Here's one photo. I don't want to create an opening that just kind of covers the photos, kind of goes into encroaching into the photo. So what I decided to do, and I do a lot of tests again, but I created a mat that shows a little bit of the white, which I think is going to look really, really cool once we're done. So I use a lot of props, like I'm using a piece of molding here, just to kind of create that depth that we're going to be adding. And, and that kind of begins to tell me how we're doing design-wise. We're folding the jersey so that a lot of the patches, like here, this patch kind of shows. And a lot of times, we find that we have to fold a little bit more. And you can see I drill some holes here into the foam. Nothing is mounted again. But I start to, sort of ask myself where the, where the digital frame is going to go. And so let me show you what I'm talking about. So this little cable that sticks out, it's going to have to go and stick out outside of the frame. And so this is when I, sort of start playing around with the placement of it. And as you can see, I've been just kind of drilling a lot of stuff right into the foam. But I'm going to go ahead and push that in just so I can get an idea of the proportions of the design. And obviously we're not done yet. But I don't like where that frame, the digital frame, sits. I think it should be a little higher. So that just might mean that we're going to have to fold that jersey, that Marlins green jersey, so that it's shorter, and we can, push the device further up. But again, I wanted to let you in a little bit on our design process. That's kind of how it works, and we go through this a lot, and we think that, again, our customers deserve the very best version of our design, and so that's why we go above and beyond, and we go through so many iterations before we say that's it, that's cool, we're happy with that, and we know our customers are going to be happy. So this is part 2. Part 3, we're going to start putting the matting together. I'm actually building a little stand or a cradle right now where the digital frame is going to sit, so that it's upright, it's securely mounted. This is going to be shipped, and obviously we don't want any bad thing to happen during the shipping. And wherever the customer places it, ships it to his son, whatever, we want that thing to not move at all. So that's the plan, and so we're going to keep at it. We've got obviously other work that we have to do along the way as well. But this is looking really, really good. I'm liking it a lot. So thank you so much, and stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel so you're the first one to know when we upload a new video, and tell your friends about it. Follow us on Instagram, and give it a like, a comment, share, whatever. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.